Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another video. So, today, surprise surprise, what more goes on this channel? We're talking about Doctor Who Flux, or Doctor Who Series 13, whatever you want to call it. Yesterday evening, I say evening, it was technically this morning because it was 12 o'clock. That's beside the point. Two very interesting articles talking about Doctor Who Flux appeared online. So we'll just jump straight into the first one, which has a bunch of new publicity images, which are very, very interesting. They allow us to do a lot of theorising, which is always fun. The article states that the BBC have tonight released 6 new first look images at Doctor Who Flux. The first one we can see is the Doctor and Chewbacca. This hairy bloke, I think it's Carven Easter, I think that's his name. But yeah, the Doctor facing off against Carven Easter. Now, the first interesting tidbit of information here is that episode 1 of Doctor Who Flux has a runtime of 50 minutes. That's about average for the Jodie era, so there's no sort of surprises or anything there. 50 minutes long has been the sort of standard idea since Series 11. But where we get the interesting thing is that it's going to air at 6:20 PM in the UK on Sunday the 31st of October. Now, is that a good time to air it? I don't know. Because 31st of October, obviously, it's Halloween. So most kids, well, not most kids, a percentage of kids and a percentage of adults will be out partying or trick-or-treating or doing whatever. Maybe for adults, 6:20 is good because they won't have gone out and done whatever yet. But kids are going to be going out at around that time to do trick-or-treating. So are the BBC sort of missing a trick? Are we going to lose some of the audience because they're out busy? But then again, maybe people will just use catch-up, because if this is all one bingeable series, then they'll probably just go back and fill in the gaps. I would like to note, though, that that is a provisional time, so it could change. Who knows? The next thing we get is this other promo image of Chewbacca, Carvinista, sat in this weird smoky room. Now, upon initial inspection, it's just another image in it of Mr. Bear. But if we look closely in the background, we can see Dan, slumped in a cage. Now, this also lines up with shots we've seen from the trailer, from Dan's first ever, intro video way back in January. So, yeah, it's fair enough to assume that Carvinista kidnaps Dan and locks him in a cage. Why am I bringing this up? Because this sort of ties us directly into a theory that I mentioned in one of my latest videos, that Carvinista is actually this guy. This guy is Dan's workmate, Dan's friend, and they're played by the same actor, allegedly. That was leaked online somewhere. That's not 100% confirmed, but this sort of adds credence to the theory, really. He's probably going to get kidnapped by his friend, who turns out to be an alien. That just makes sense. And then the Doctor and Yaz are probably going to come along. And then that's when, they have a mini adventure. They take Dan back home. But at the end of episode 1, Dan chooses to go and stay with them in the TARDIS in this filming scene that we saw way back in, March. I think that just makes the most sense, really. It says that the BBC are going to confirm the schedules this afternoon. So, yeah, that's good. Now, here we get another interesting photo. The 13th Doctor doing a classic, oh no, face. And she's got her microscope thingy there. And what looks to be a sort of knife stabbed into a weird little gooey thing. Possibly an alien. It's almost certainly not. But my first thought was, oh, is that a Dalek mutant that she's clobbered or something like that? But whatever it is, it seems to be causing her some sort of distress and panic. Next up, we have Yasmin Khan, played by Mandip Gill, in what people are theorising is the ancient Gallifrey location. Now, the fact that these are all from episode 1, I think that's quite a good sign that we are going to start this series off with a bang, because we've got probably ancient Gallifrey, we've got Carven Easter, we've got Dan's introduction, we've got all of this to come in episode 1. Speaking of Dan, the next image is just Dan in Liverpool. Nothing much to say about it other than that's quite a cool photo. Now, this one is another very, very interesting one which can be talked about. A Santoran. Once again, it's this new design that we haven't seen properly on screen yet. We've seen the little clip of it in the trailer where it sat on the horse. But I don't know what to think, because the more I see these Santorans, the more I am starting to go a bit like, yeah, it's a bit too classic Who. Like, I don't know, the head just looks so long. Like, I don't know. And I think the way he's got his arms in this photo, it's really weird. But then I do love, like, the harkening back to classic Who sort of thing. And I reckon maybe when they're on screen in action, it'll look a lot better. The ship itself looks amazing. But yeah, there's another picture of the Santorans. So that pretty much concludes this single article, because then we just get linked the Doctor Who Flux trailer, which, you know, interesting as ever, but we've made more videos on that if you want to go and check them out. So we'll just jump straight into the second article, which states that Chris Chibnall says it took longer than expected for him to leave Doctor Who. Now, this isn't necessarily Series 13 news, but it is worth talking about, and it's quite interesting to me, because he says that he was trying to pass the baton, I don't know how people want me to say that, but he was trying to pass this on for quite a while, but found it very difficult to find a specific person to replace him. So that's not a great sign. I mean, luckily we have it confirmed that Russell T Davies is going to take the baton, take it and run with it and go with new series and whatnot. But yeah, apparently it was taking a long time, and yeah, that's not necessarily good, because it sort of shows that, like, you'd expect hundreds of people to be, like, begging to be Doctor Who showrunner. But if it's difficult to find someone, I don't know, that's probably a bad sign. This article, there's not loads more to say in it, that's the main point of interest, but yeah, it advertises Doctor Who Flux a little bit more. In this article, Chibnall also states that it took a lot longer for him to leave the show than he would have assumed. Now, that's probably down to the pandemic, but I don't know, because if you remember back in July, he said he always wanted to make 3 series, then leave, and it's taken so long for these 3 series to be made, because there's basically been like a year gap, or year or 2 gap in between each series. Now, obviously, we've lived through a pandemic, so it's not like, oh, Chibnall's fault. But yeah, that's just interesting stuff. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned. 2 days until our Doctor Who fan film Echo's End premieres on the YouTube channel. You can go and find the video right now and turn on notifications so you do not miss it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Who and what caused that black hole?
I